Good morning, almost good afternoon. This is Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja, Jacqueline Richardson, whatever y'all call me. I've been really busy lately, and I mean I've been really busy. A lot of things has been going on. I'm trying to get a lot of things together. However, I wasn't able to hear about the Will Smith story of slapping Chris Rock until recently. So now I'm here to give my point of view on how I feel. Now, y'all know I'm a big Will fan. It's not that I'm taking up for him, because if he was wrong, I would say that he was wrong. That's just the person that I am. That's just my character. I tell people what it is. But in this instant, Will Smith was correct. And I felt like he shouldn't have apologized. Okay, I'm going to tell y'all why. For the last year, Will Smith has been getting bad publicity by a lot of people because of his wife, Table Talk, Red Table Talk. When we have some people out here that respected her for what she was doing, and I'm one of them, because we like to hear the stories of what people been through to help, others. And quiet is kept, their testimonies, okay? Y'all Christians out there know what I'm talking about when I say it's a testimony. We're always being tried and tested, okay? However, people just kept it going and kept it going and kept it going. And, things build up in you, And then, that was via social media. However, now this guy want to take this thing public. Okay? Now, Chris Rock, you portray to be that one that knows about relationships. So why would you even talk about his wife? Like, that's very disrespectful. That's a no-no. You never talk about a man's wife. Okay? Never. Another man should never speak upon another man's wife. It just doesn't work that way. Okay? So, Chris Rock, you were wrong and you deserve to be slapped. Sometimes people have to be slapped to get, their senses right. Their mind right. Shake their brains back right. This man Will Smith was fed up. Enough is enough. Let me tell y'all something. I come up in the era of Will Smith. I've watched all his movies. Of course, y'all know everybody watched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This man works very, very hard for his family. Granted, in order to stay alive in this industry, you got to have a little bit of drama, Nobody's perfect, and everybody's learning together, okay? And when I say everybody, meaning the X generation, because he's part of the X generation, meaning like myself, how this new social media thing goes and how we keep it going to stay loved by the fans. Well, Jada figured it out, when she did the table talk. Okay, let's give them some of our life, help them out, and meanwhile, I'm doing work for God, because now I'm giving what went on in my life to the people and how I dealt with it, and that way they can get a little bit more understanding about what I've felt in my life and what went on in my life and how I dealt with certain things. It may not work for everybody, but it may work for some. But you get to a point in life where I don't care what background you come from. You can come from the suburbs, you can come from the hood. You can be rich and you can be poor. You could be black and you could be white. When people continuously bully you because of something that you're doing, you will snap. Okay? You will snap, and that's just the bottom line. That is that man's wife, okay? Chris Rock made the statement that she wasn't even invited. However, anywhere her husband is invited, she's automatically invited because they are union. They are one. Okay? That was very disrespectful. I went through something similar in the past where my significant other was invited out to an event and they didn't invite me. It's very disrespectful. If a person is with a mate, they are union, whether it be spiritual union or government union. They are one. It's disrespect. I'm sorry, I'm trying to eat my breakfast in the midst of this. I just need to get on here and get this out before I forget because I got other things to do. I had to have some fish and grits this morning. I was craving fish and grits for the last 3 days, but I finally got it today. So I feel better. And it's about slapping Chris Rock. It's how I felt about slapping the person that invited my significant other out without inviting me, knowing we've been together for 16 years. We may not be married, but we've been together for 16 years, and everything that we had together was tied together. Our name, our life is tied together. It's disrespectful. Sometimes you got to give somebody that slap to let them, understand. Because this is the problem with America. With people in general. I'm not going to just say America. People don't comprehend well. Okay? They don't comprehend well. Yesterday, I had to have a talk with a couple of my people at work because I didn't like the way I was being treated. And before I snap again, I said, let me go talk to them and let them know how this thing is done before I have to snap. And I had said to one of my colleagues, a supervisor, you have to care about others. And then one of the other ones looked at me and said, care? We supposed to care? Yes, you are supposed to care. How do you expect to not have drama in your life, people coming at you, or people categorizing you as a hard person to deal with if you don't care? Okay? When people learn your true character. Because then people are going to say, whether it's 5 years from now, 10 years from now, whatever's done in the dark is going to come to the light. And people are going to see who you really are. Okay? Chris Rock, of all people, that get online and state working on relationships take two people. And then you would turn around and disrespect a man's wife. Y'all take a minute and think about that. So everything he's been telling us is not because he's been through it. It's because of what he thinks should be. But yet and still you disrespect this man that's had a long-term relationship for years and years and years. No matter their downfalls, they still stuck together. Come on, people. Y'all got to get it together. Y'all have to get it together. Y'all need to take a step back and realize the things that y'all do. And I'm talking to these upcoming generations. When did we stop caring about other people? Even when you're being honest, it shows care. Because if you run into the wrong person with the nonsense, you're going to get yourself hurt. Or people are not going to like you. The other thing, spreading rumors. People, if you don't know the facts about something or someone, don't speak upon it. I'm in the process right now teaching these preteens that. And you shouldn't speak about it, period, because it's not your business. It has nothing to do with you. This is where you try to mark someone or stereotype them, and you don't even know what's really happening. I mean, this is just the facts, people. It's like people was running around saying I was on drugs. Never used drugs. Always drank and smoked weed. Stopped smoking weed over 25, 30 years. And stopped drinking, I would say, 7 years. Stopped drinking hard liquor maybe 13 years ago. So where does it come in that I'm on drugs at? They're rumors. I'm just using this as a example. My life is so how can I put it, timely? I don't even have time to use drugs. If I wanted to. I barely have time to drink water, let alone anything else. But I'm just using this as an example. People start rumors over stuff, and they need to learn to think. You put people in bad spaces because of it. You make them feel uneasy. This is why, I'm going to use Maryland for instance. This is why Maryland is in a class by itself. Okay? I call it its own little organization. Because people don't even know nothing about Maryland. All they know is that people on dope live in Maryland. There's a lot of people on dope in Maryland. And that's what they categorize Maryland as. In Baltimore. Okay? Before I moved to Maryland, let me tell y'all this story. Before I moved to Maryland, everybody kept saying, don't go to Maryland. Are you crazy? That's not the place you want to be. It's terrible down there. This girl from Buffalo, she took me down there. She took me. I've never been afraid to go anywhere and experience things. I've never been one of those type of people. I'll pick up and leave in a minute and go to a whole new state, start all over. That's just who I am. Okay? Now, before I left to go to Maryland, I wanted to Google what was going on in Maryland. I wanted to see, what their worth was, how they did things, and that's what I did. And when I did that, I Googled that they was the richest state in America. And I said, well, how's such a small area be the richest state? Well, the reason being is because the White House is in the next state over. Okay? And a lot of the politicians, a lot of them make six figures, and they don't live in Washington. They live in Maryland or Virginia. Okay? Because those are the two states that they're connected to. When I've learned why they were so rich, I could understand why the rest of the cities and states was downplaying them. I said, well, life is good here. I like it here. But because it's been said that dope comes out of Baltimore, it's such a bad place, according to the rest of the people. However, one of the best places to live. Okay? As long as you follow the rules, because they're very strict. They state to be a certain way, and that's just what it is. Because they have politicians, they have a lot of rich people running through there, and these people need to be safe, they need to be comfortable, they need to be able to live. Okay? And live normally. So that's why I put them in a class by itself. When you start talking about like a lot of these secret societies, I say that Maryland is like a secret society. Okay, if you want to know something about a secret society, I call that a secret society because it has its own grounds. Okay, and they know when you step your foot in Maryland, they know if you're from there or not, just by the way you act. Or just by the way you do things. They know if you're from there or if you've been there for a long time. They know. They study these things. Like where I used to live at in Maryland, people wouldn't come to a certain border because they knew if they came across that certain line that they was going to be investigated. They knew that. They don't play up there. And nothing gets too much past them. They're watching every single soul that comes through their town. Okay, through their state. High watch. Okay? And I say all that to say, Maryland is the type of state that teach you how to act. I'm going to just be honest with you. They teach you how to act. That's why I tell people, if you want to learn how to be a good person and learn how to love and care, and go to Maryland. They'll teach you. I mean, I was already like that because my family is like that. But they brought it out of me more. They pulled it out of me. And it felt comfortable. Like some people can't do it. Just like I have friends that move here to North Carolina. And I try to teach them how to be Carolinian or whatever, how would you call it. And they just couldn't get with it. Some people. So they leave. Same with Maryland. People that can't get with it, they leave. Because they just can't get with it. But that's your choice. They don't ask you to come there. It's your choice to stay in their state, follow the rules, and pay taxes to keep their state going. Okay, because that's all it's about. It's all about the dollar. But getting back to what I was saying about like rumors and people disrespecting people's wives, and you just can't do that, people. When a person chooses a wife or chooses a mate, they've chosen the one that they want there for them. Good and bad times. So you have no right to just disrespect them. You just have no right. It's wrong. Why would he want to see his wife sulking? Because this man is talking about his woman. I heard a lot of things were said, I didn't hear all the story, but regardless, nothing should have been said about his wife, period. Because he has to deal with that when he gets home. Regardless of what they had in the past going on online all over the place with these other people coming into their lives or whatever the case may be, that has nothing to do with anything. Because that's still that man's wife until he divorces her or she divorces him. And if they choose that they're not going to do that, you still have to respect her or respect him. That's the way it works. You don't step out of line disrespecting people because they are one. And of course, okay, the media wanted Will Smith to apologize. He shouldn't have had to apologize. Because that man was wrong. He was wrong. And that's just my theory of it. How far are you going to take this disrespect? It wasn't one thing said. He wanted to keep going. Enough. Now it's war. You thought because he was one of the biggest actors in America that he doesn't have feelings? That his wife doesn't have feelings? These are human beings. They just came out of people being disrespectful to them. They're still human beings. That was their redemption. That award show to give them some love. That night. And for him to ruin that, he deserved to be slapped. And that's just my theory. Okay? That's Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie, Deja, whatever y'all call me. That's just my theory. Care about people. Learn to start loving. Think. Y'all always talk about, People's always overthinking. You need to overthink before you make the wrong choice. My daughter told me the other day, she said, "Ma, I don't know what's wrong with me. My mouth is always saying things and I don't even think about it first." And I said, "You know what? You touch base with the wrong person, because your mouth is always thinking stuff and your brain is always thinking stuff and you want to blurt it out. Somebody going to snap on you one day." Everything that's thought doesn't have to be said. Everything that's thought doesn't have to be done. Granted, some things need to be done, but it needs to be thought out in a process first. This is why they call me the problem solver. Because I ponder on things before I react. Just like me and a friend of mine, we got into it, a little bit. He was angry with me. So I was trying to talk to him. He didn't want to talk. So he hung up the phone on me, which was very disrespectful. Okay. So I said, okay, he's playing with my intelligence right now, but I'm going to call back. He hung up the phone on me again. I said, okay. I'm going to call back again. He's getting up under my skin. Because I wasn't done talking. Who are you to stop me from talking and expressing who I am or how I feel? I'm a human being. I need to express how I feel. Now, just because you're cold and don't like to express how you feel, that's your problem, not mine. I'm a human being. I'm not an alien. I have feelings, and I need to express. Now, if you didn't want me to express it at that moment, then that's when you say, hey, I really, my emotions are not feeling good right now. I don't want to say the wrong thing, so I think we need to end this call tonight and talk about it tomorrow. I would have accepted that, but not for you to keep hanging up the phone on me. So by this third point, now I'm at snapping mode, okay? And he says to me, well, why are you yelling at me? You just hung up the phone on me, not once, not twice, but 3 times. That's why I'm yelling at you, because you're not hearing me. If I keep calling back, it's for a reason. I need to express myself. Because I'm not going to take this negative energy with me and live with it all night because you're feeling some kind of way and you're not hearing me. You need to hear me. Not that you don't want to hear me. You're saying, I'm not going to hear you. It's 2 different things, people. You might not want to hear somebody say certain things to you. But sometimes certain things need to be said and you need to hear it. But it's not right to stop a person after you gave them that negative impact and say, oh, I don't want to hear it. I don't even want to talk about it. It doesn't work that way. You have to give people the chance to express themselves, whether you like what they're saying or not. That's one thing I can say about my significant, my ex-significant other, that we had to come to an agreement with. And out of 16 years, he finally got it right. And when we broke up, I told him, I need closure. I need you to tell me what's going on with you. He came to me and he said, Jackie, I'm no longer in love with you. I want to move on. I want to be free. Even though it hurt, I knew the truth. So I was able to let go. That's the way it works. You can't hide behind the truth because it makes things worse. And that's just what it is. This is why a lot of females get into fallouts, because they may feel some kind of way and don't want to express themselves. Hold it in, but treat a person with a long-handled spoon because they're feeling uneasy about something instead of being honest. Being fair, being caring. Because let me explain something to you guys. Even though you may feel that nobody knows about an uneasy feeling that you have inside, about something that either you created or something that someone else has done to you, that negative energy and karma will return itself. This is why you leave everyone on a good note. That's the way it works. Y'all would know this if y'all would read the Bible. But everybody's so afraid of understanding God's way. To live in peace. And then they wonder why things are always going upside down for them. This is why. You create your own negative energy through others. People, y'all got to get it together. Y'all have a lot of work to do. The way y'all people were raised. Some of y'all wasn't even raised. Some of y'all just do whatever. And it's sad. And then you have a group of people that's caught up in the midst of this chaos with you people. Because y'all don't know how to act. And then you wonder why we separate. Now, I'm going to use this for instance. We used to watch the TV shows, what was it, Hip Hop of Atlanta? No, Hip Hop of New York or whatever. Them reality shows. And then you had the reality show in Atlanta. I forgot the name of that, with Nene Leakes. I can never say that I turned on that show with Nene Leakes and the women were fist fighting. They spoke their mind. They went their way. Sometimes they sat down and talked about it. Sometimes they decided to separate. Sometimes they decided to, well, let's try to work this out and get our relationship back. Versus the other shows, the hip hop shows, where they're fist fighting. They've been trying to teach y'all the difference all this time, and nobody's paying attention. You don't have to always fight to understand or get out your negative energy. You can talk about it. But you don't have to threaten people You don't have to go out of whack with, now you want to talk about them all crazy, like how what Chris Rock did to Will. They've been trying to teach y'all the difference. And y'all not even picking up on that. When are y'all going to get it? I had a friend of mine tell me, now y'all know I'm very real, I'm very subtle type of person. You know, even when I was in the Bronx, I was a very subtle type of person. Because my family lived a certain kind of way. And not only did my family live a certain kind of way, the people that was in my neighborhood, even though they lived in the projects, a lot of them lived the same way we lived. We lived a stable lifestyle. Meaning our parents worked, so we ate at a certain time. We had to be in the house at a certain time. This is just what it was. You have to stand your ground as an adult. Okay, and that's what they did. Not only in my household, but every household that I touched down in around my neighborhood. We all knew there was certain things we could do and certain things we couldn't do. And it all happened in all the different households. So we all was, well, how can I say, brought up pretty much the same way. Every house had their issues and had their problems. But everyone was brought up the same way. Everything was seen the same in each household. That way we didn't have to worry about our kids going over to here. Because everybody was the same. Now we've gotten into where you never know what you're going to experience walking into someone else's household. And a friend of mine had told me when I had lost my house, well, go stay with a couple of friends. Lord, that was the worst thing I could have done. Because I experienced the worst and some of the best. I was like, go stay with somebody. You got to be kidding me. These people are sick. They didn't grow up the way I grew up, so I'm not going to stay in nobody's house and expose my children to things that I don't expose my children to. I'm not doing it. Before I do that, I'll go stay in a hotel with me and my kids, and that's what I did. Because I couldn't do it. The things that my kids would have been exposed to. That I'm normally don't expose my children to. We have to learn that children are always watching us. Always. Especially the stars. And we want to make good impressions. Now, I'm going to use this for instance. I don't know if some of y'all remember Jay-Z, Beyonce, and her sister was in an elevator. This was years ago. And Beyonce's sister started fighting Jay-Z over something that Jay-Z did. And it hit the tabloids. Okay? Now, granted, her sister was wrong. Her sister was wrong. because that's the man that Beyonce chose to marry. She was wrong. But she was hurt inside. Like, why are you doing this to my sister? But she forgot that what goes on with them, if it's caught on camera, somebody's around, the tabloids is going to get it. She forgot for that moment. So you remember back, she had to sit down for a while. She got real quiet for a long time because it was embarrassment to the family. But she felt like she needed to take up for her sister. If her sister felt like something was wrong or she couldn't get over it, she would have left her husband. But to this day, they're still together and still have, they've had more children since then. So what may feel wrong to you may not be wrong to someone else. She chose to forgive him. But we can't always stand in people's, how can I put it, in married couples' business unless they're asking for help. It's different if they ask for help. But we don't take it for so far. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. And if y'all have any questions or, something that y'all may be going through, I will not be on social media, so I'm not breaking nothing down on social media for you people. If y'all have anything that y'all need to get some insight on, feel free to contact me via email. And I can give you some insight on how we do things. People wants to be in the tabloids for good stuff, not bad stuff. What's going on good in this particular star's life? Not the bad. They get tired of it. People don't always want to hear the bad. They want to hear the good things. You can leave that bad stuff on the ground, but the media, that they drive off of these things. This is how they keep their ratings. But it destroys people's families. Now, instead of Chris Rock saying, I don't like what Will Smith wife did to him, or whatever the case may be, and how's he getting through, the way he could have did things was be supportive to Will Smith, and say, man, how are you getting through? Everything is okay? Care. And Will could have said, man, I'm all right, but things will get better. That could have been the start of them having a good friendship. Hey, man, why don't you come through sometimes and we could kick it. And then he could have got some understanding of why this man is holding on to his wife, even though she's a human being and people make mistakes. People go through things. It's called chemical imbalances and hormonal imbalances. We go through things. This is why, as a mate, the reason why we choose our mates is because we want our mates to understand us, knowing something is not right, so that way they can help me when I'm out of my mind, okay? Or if I'm sick, or whatever the case may be going on. Just like with my significant other. I've been with him for 16 years, but I knew towards the end of the relationship, something wasn't right. It wasn't that his attitude was changing. It wasn't that his growth was changing. Something wasn't right. I knew it. I've been with this person for so long. And you need a person to know when something is not going right with you, so they can tell you and you can get the help that's needed. That's the purpose of us having mates. Someone there special to care and love and be there for them. Not for you to be running off, doing this, not caring, not loving, and you're like, okay, you feeling alone. That's not how it works, people. Whether his wife did 15 million things wrong in y'all eyes, he knows he can trust his wife with his life. He trusts and knows that she will make the right decision. No one has the right to speak up negative upon someone's mate. And that's just the facts. This is Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie, Deja, whatever y'all call me. Y'all have a wonderful day and enjoy these beautiful sunny days that we have here in Charlotte. I don't know what's going on around the world, but I know Charlotte, we having some beautiful days. High pollen, I'm sick, but I'm still enjoying these beautiful days. Y'all take care. I'll talk to y'all soon.